C-Mac Sports presents high school football. From Sunnyside Stadium in southeast Fresno, it's the Sunnyside High School Wildcats and the Clovis East High School Timberwolves. Hello everybody, I'm Dan Taylor and I'm joined by the coach, JoJo Reyes, the former head coach at Roosevelt High School. And coach, tonight we've got real contrasting offensive styles out here. Clovis East and Sunnyside, very different.
Almost definitely. You got one that's kind of a balanced offense, Sunnyside, and then you have another offense that's going to chew up the clock and just hit everything on the running ground.
And you're going to see the double wing back at Clovis East, and that's an exciting offense.
It is a very exciting offense because that's actually this offense that I ran at Roosevelt. Took it from Jim Murphy, definitely, and implemented over at the south side. It's a great offense to run because it's quite simple. It's kind of like liking it to making a cake. The more that you make that cake with these simple ingredients, the better off you're going to be.
Clovis East comes in looking for their first win of the season. Sunnyside has one win. They've lost their last two, and they've got it all teed up and ready to kick off. So let's jump into the coverage tonight. C-Mac Sports High School Football. Glad you're with us tonight here from Sunnyside Stadium. And the hosts in blue with the yellow helmets, Sunnyside High School, won the toss. They have deferred and elected to kick off. And this one sails into the end zone. Clovis East will come out with the football, 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. And coach, one of the guys to look for tonight is Ramel Knight, number 2 for Clovis East.
Most definitely. I saw that young man run against Sanger a couple weeks ago, and that young man has a fine young-looking athlete. He hits the hole, hits it hard, definitely hits it hard after contact.
They are exclusively a run-oriented team.
Definitely. Why pass when you can run? You get 5 yards of carry. Eat up the clock.
Pitch goes back to Ramel Knight, and he's got a huge goal.
Not a bad run for the first play.
42 yards on the very first play from scrimmage, and that is what the double wing can do to you. Tough to prepare for in just 3 days of practice.
Most definitely. I think that's one of the great things about it. A lot of people think that offense is so easy to run, but like I said, it's like making a cake. If you're not used to running that offense, you're going to make a mistake on defense. Your body may be there, but there's enough technique that the alignment can do, and definitely just find the definite weaknesses for him.
Double wing uses 2 wing backs, a fullback, a wide receiver, and a tight end. Now out of the shotgun, and that snap is mishandled. Bad snap, actually, and it is Chandler Hamilton, who operates under the quarterback position, managed to gather it in, but loses about 5 yard lines, 5 yards on the play. Let's take another look at that. Just a bad snap.
Bad snap. Yeah. That could have been also the case of the quarterback looking downfield. Got to have that trust with that snap to the quarterback for sure.
Backfield usually Chandler Hamilton from the quarterback position, number 33. Got Alfredo Aguiar, number 40, out of the tight end position. Peyton Eccles wears number 13. Trevin Qualls, number 8. Those are your wing backs. And that play is stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
It's a small setback, but like going back to that last play, if you see the center, the way the center's holding the ball, the way the center's holding the ball, that's actually one of the safest ways to snap the ball back without putting a direct spin on it. So I don't think you're going to see many of those tonight.
Sunnyside with a 4-man front. Does that surprise you going against the wing tee that they would use 4 men down rather than even loading up the box with more?
Not necessarily, because we have those 4 men down, depending on what they're, if they're reading defense or a gap defense. If I've got some horses for outside linebackers, inside linebackers, I'm going to let those guys hunt.
Looking at a 3rd and 15, and we've got a timeout taken by Ryan Reynolds, the Clovis East coach. Let's touch a little bit on Ryan Reynolds. First year as the head coach, for 14 years an assistant at Clovis East under Tim Murphy. And he was the 1995 Fresno Bee Player of the Year when he was at Clovis West.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, we coached together at Clovis East, and but looking at Ryan Reynolds, I think he's done a phenomenal job being an assistant. Also, he's also sat in that head man's chair at one point at Clovis East when Tim Murphy was out. But I think that what you're seeing out of Ryan Reynolds is a no-nonsense coach. being a no-nonsense coach, what's really nice about football throughout the ages is that anytime you can challenge a young man and make them rise to your expectations, you know, those kids are going to want to play for him. That runs back to my old coach in high school, Coach Joel. Same kind of guy, you know, no nonsense. He has high expectations, and he wants you to achieve. And so that little brief moment of a smile or a nice pat on the back, that means the world to these guys. Because right now he's talking to his lineman saying, hey, what do you see? What do you see at that four-man front? What do you see on that secondary block? So a lot of that right there was a definitely, it seemed like maybe a design timeout, because I have a feeling that they may get a nice large chunk right here of change.
Needs it. He's 3rd and 15 from the 41-yard line. In motion, Knight takes the pitch. Big hole, but he's not going to come up enough for the first down. Our officials tonight, the referee, Thomas Pinedo. Mike Illingsworth is the umpire. The head linesman, Cody Wilson. The line judge is Pat Atkins. And Rick Cazares is the back judge.
Like I was saying, you know, that might have been a design timeout right there, because, like I said, a large chunk of change. Yeah, that was good for what right there, about 7, 8 yards right there?
Yes.
Most definitely. So why not go for it? Oh, and going for it.
Here we
How
go,
about
4th
that?
and 7.
Possible
at
hard
the
count.
33-yard line. Hamilton barking
And the same
signals.
play.
Give goes to Knight. Play stopped at the line of scrimmage, and for a loss. So the ball's turned over on downs to Sunnyside High School. Gordon Wood will send his offense out. The Clovis East defense coming on as we have a change of possession with 9:05 left here in the first quarter from Sunnyside Stadium. Glad you're with us for what should be a very interesting and exciting night of high school football. Clovis East 0-3. They've had the narrow loss to St. Ignatius, and then some tough ones at Redwood and at Sanger. Sunnyside High, though, coming off their first win of the season, a 39-31 win at Mount Whitney.
Yeah, that's a little bit of momentum for this team right now, so let's see what happens.
Donovan Kong calling signals out of the pistol at quarterback.
On the jet
Sends
sweep.
his man in motion. And the man in motion takes it, and off he goes for a first down.
Nice little scat back right there, and all the way to the sideline. You know, this football, like any other type of sport, really is it's a game of in terms of speed kills.
Indeed. They've got a few different numbers than we have on our roster, so this could be a little bit of a challenge for us tonight, trying to figure out who's who here. No backs with Kong in the backfield. Throw incomplete. He was looking at Marquay Williams, the junior wide receiver there on the slant in from the far side.
Yeah, nice call. Empty backfield. You know, the Clovis East is running that. That's not a soft defense, but a 4-4 defense, so it's a read defense. So why not try to utilize those lower to intermediate passes, all right?
Second down and 10 from the 46-yard line. Again, back in motion. Kong throws behind his receiver, incomplete. Again, looking for Marquay Williams.
I don't think you can get much more open than that right now.
And we've got a penalty flag after the play. Looks like he picked up the penalty flag. Maybe used the wrong
hand
thing to try and mark the spot. 3rd and 10 from the 46.
Wanted to blow a whistle.
Exactly. Now Marquay Williams in the backfield. I think that may be Carl Hawkins in the backfield. It is alongside Kong. Hawkins trying to block, and Kong trying to run for the first down, and he'll be 6 yards short. So a 3 and out for Sunnyside. They'll send the punting unit on.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go for it on 4th down like Clovis East.
No.
But actually, this helps Clovis East. You get the ball down at the 20, 25, you know, you have a fight. But you can actually make this to a 10-play drive, eat up the clock, eat up the first quarter, and make it 6-7-0.
Trevin Qualls is the deep man. Angel Garcia will field it.
He's got some room.
Correction, Jacob Esparza on that, and he actually brings it across the 40-yard line. Let's try again. Justice Cantu, number 10 on the punt return. Justice Cantu on the punt return. So Clovis East takes it first and 10 at the 41-yard line. As Cantu did a nice job following his blockers.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Chandler Hamilton audibilizing there at the line of scrimmage. Give goes to Knight. Follows his tackle. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. There are a number of different formations, though, aren't there? The wedge, a number of different formations in the wing tee.
Yes, that's a very loaded question right there. But it's one of those things where if you watch as the night progresses, as they're feeling out their defense, you were talking about earlier that four-man front, and they have fast linebackers. It's going to open up because there's going to be times where they're going to use the wedge. Great, believe they're going to get 4 or 5 yards out of it easily. But it's when you're looking at this formation right here, there's only small adjustments you can make, especially at the line, that can make big dividends for you.
So misdirection, and this goes for a big gain, about 10 yards across midfield, and a first down for Clovis East. Let's take another look at this one.
Well, that kind of goes back to what you're talking about. This offense is very hard to prepare for. It's easy for us as coaches to say, to maintain your assignment, but you want to be a playmaker on defense, and if they see you, vacating the area, they're going to capitalize on it.
Peyton Eccles, the ball carrier there, picked up about 10. Now at the 47-yard line, first and 10 for Clovis East.
But I'll give it to Sunnyside. That defense is flying around.
And the line will make adjustments on the fly, will they not?
Oh, most definitely. I think that as they go on, they get along a little bit better with this offense, and they kind of understand all the nuances of it.
Badly mishandled snap there. Eccles lost the football, but managed to dive on top of it before Sunnyside could plunge in there.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Reynolds is going to see that on tape and be very happy with that. But the linemen, as they get to know each other a lot more, and they'll make their own adjustments, which is nice.
Hamilton going to the sidelines. Trevin Qualls comes in. Actually, Hamilton just went over to get some information from one of the coaches. Second down and 7. Ball sitting at the 45-yard line. Knight hit before he had the chance to do anything and loses 3.
Yeah, we have a great view of the line right here. So getting off the ball, it looks like pretty much Sunnyside is getting after pretty good right now and beating the offensive line off the ball. And there's that penetration.
It looks as though on the far side we're seeing Sunnyside do some double teams and managing to get some penetration as a result.
Right. Let your linebackers fly. Eat up the front, let them fly and fill in the goal and fill in the gap.
Third and 10 at the 48-yard line. Pitch going to Knight. Dances his way for a pickup of about 5, and a penalty flag flies.
Yeah, not a bad play, but not a lot of room to run on that right hash.
This is a program looking for success, starved for success. They had tremendous success during a time when you were their coach, the 2000 to 2008 years, the Valley Championships, the opportunities to get into the championship game, tremendous success. They got an illegal motion play. That'll march a few yards off against the Timberwolves. And then you had a little bit of a redistricting out there, and Coach Murphy, who is really such a great innovator and a great proponent of the double wing left. And they have since fallen on hard times. A year ago, their numbers were way down. Only a couple of dozen players came out for football at Clovis East, but with Ryan Reynolds coming in, it's obvious that has changed. You see the enthusiasm around the program and the numbers up at 50 or more.
Right.
And we're seeing some good football here.
On the reverse. Yeah,
Eccles on the reverse, picks up 5.
Yeah, you make a good point because it's, how history kind of repeats itself. Tim, and that whole staff, and there's also ex-players that are on the staff right now running the different type of programs. But what's nice about it is that you can feel the atmosphere changing. It's not if the program's going to change. It's actually when. Kind of like before we went on the air. It's like, how do you want to be that senior right now? Because you know that something good's going to come about this here real soon, but you're going to be graduating. Not to write off the season by any means, but, the Clovis East team, the road doesn't get any easier after this.
Sunnyside takes over on downs, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And this is a program looking for some success. They are 1-2, but could very easily be 2-1 right now. Johnny De La Cruz on the reverse picks up a big first down.
Well, one thing, if I'm Sunnyside, I'm definitely keen on the speed. The speed differential here.
Yes.
Typically, teams of Clovis East Pass has had really good teams that can pick up the speed and neutralize that. But here, it's just a race to the outside, spread out the defense and find some gaps.
De La Cruz comes out for a play. 3 receivers. And the give goes to the up back. Picks up about 3.
Good enough for the first
down.
They
spotted that just shy of the first down. Looked like he may have gotten across the first down line a play ago, but now they do. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Sunnyside high on the march now. 1st and 10. Ball moved to the 46-yard line of Clovis East. Donovan King barking out signals out of the pistol. Very balanced attack. Run as often as they throw the football. A wide open receiver
pass
here to the near side, looking for a block, trying to follow a block, and he gets down to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, bounce attack that is, can keep your defense guessing. What's nice about these plays right here, this one picks up 5 or 6 yards. You don't need to score a touchdown on every play. Just keep chipping away. The longer that defense is out there, the more time that your defense gets to rest.
Keep making positive things happen.
Right.
They're now at the 35-yard line, and the give on the reverse. We have got a penalty flag thrown as the Wildcat back is ridden out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm not sure that can be very favorable to Sunnyside right here. Quarterback's already walking backwards.
It's a hold. We saw Sunnyside 2 weeks ago in a very, very tough ball game for the Wildcats, a 56-6 loss against Central High, and of course 2 days after that outcome, Central High was pushed up to the number 1 spot in the Valley High School football rankings. And that's one thing Gordon Wood does not shy away from, is a tough non-conference schedule. He wants to play the toughest Clovis East, the Division I school, Sunnyside a D2, and they will not shy away from that because they feel that's what they need to be competitive in the postseason.
Dump off in the middle.
Wide open across the middle, and the play will go for a gain to about the 30-yard line.
That's a smart outlook. It's almost like that Pat Hill anytime, anywhere, but I think he's very systematic in that. You have a veteran coach that knows that when he hits the NYL that you may not see as tough a competition that you would see in the preseason.
Sunnyside right back up to the line of scrimmage. So take a look at that last play. Johnny De La Cruz wide open across the middle. Now the give goes to Carl Hawkins. Very talented young athlete for Sunnyside High, and he's got a big gainer. Out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Carl Hawkins, just a sophomore, two-way player and also a punter. His brother, a standout on this team a year ago, now over at Fresno City College.
Yeah, nice. I like the approach that coach has right now, where the offensive coordinator is going. Once again, it's that bounce attack. So I wouldn't be surprised if we find some jump ball in the corner here.
If they do that, it would generally be when number 14, Amari Stroud, comes in. He's 6'7" wide receiver. Not in there just yet as they run the football.
Soften
and the
it up
middle
a little bit.
is bottled up pretty well.
Yeah, watching on the pregame, they have some pretty tall receivers.
They do.
Pretty tall receivers. If I'm a basketball coach, I'm out here as well. Walking the sidelines,
Four wide receivers for Sunnyside. Second down and 5, balls on the 11-yard line. Quarterback keeper up the middle. He's got room, and he's got a touchdown.
Nice play calling.
Have another look at that, Coach.
Yeah, that design run. They stay on their blocks. Sunnyside, like Clovis East, they have some gritty kids. I think there's no quit in both these teams. Like I saw Clovis East play the other day. No quit in that team. As I'm seeing here with Sunnyside, they're not going. I don't think they're going to get pushed around, or they're making a statement here at their home field.
lined up as if they were going to go for two, and now they settle back into the PAT alignment.
Hey, everybody loves a swinging gate.
Jimmy Gomez to attempt the extra point, and it's up and good. So with 3:06 to go here in the first quarter, our score is Sunnyside High School 7 and Clovis East nothing.
It'll be interesting to see how Clovis East responds right now. I have all the faith in the world that coaching staff in that school, but I'd like to see the line to see how they take it as a personal challenge, because in this offense it is kind of hard to come back when you're behind.
That's right. Any option offense is very difficult to play catch up in. But they have churned up yards. They've had very good possessions. Penalties hurt them in their last possession.
Right.
They can, and I'm sure that was a discussion over on the sideline. And if they can eliminate those penalties, it'll be interesting to see if they can drive right back and tie this one up. But Donovan Kong on the last play there from 11 yards out read it perfectly. The middle was wide open.
Looked away, just enough to get that seam and that gap. But tuck that ball away. That's a good way to cough it up.
That's exactly right. And it looks like Sunnyside offsides on the kickoff. Oh. The kick from a little bit farther back this time.
Hey, this is one of those things where the special teams, everything is going to count. I think this is right about now where the special team coach is licking his chops, because you're giving your guys a little bit extra time to set up the walls and let your athletes be athletes.
Jose Ortiz has been able to put this ball in the end zone on a couple of kicks, and now Clovis East going to have some return room on this one. So we're going to try it again. Sunnyside kicking off after scoring the first touchdown of this ball game, and I'm not so sure that there wasn't an offsides there as well, but they let it go.
Like,
Clovis East fair catches it at the 35-yard line.
Just kick it.
Great spirit here tonight. The cheer squad, the Sunnyside High School band, terrific job with the anthem and a little pregame concert. That's the fun of high school football, is the great pageantry and the numbers of student body members that are able to be involved. And we're glad you're with us here on CMAC, because we've got a lot of student body members involved in this, and that's what CMAC is all about.
Hey, how about that band earlier?
They were terrific.
They
really
were a nice little
impressive.
parade. Almost made me want to dance. Not really. I don't want to see that.
You want to be on the field, but you want to be coaching rather than playing an instrument. I know you.
Yeah, I'd rather coach. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's something that never goes away. I think all the old coaches out there, it doesn't matter what level you coach, something about Friday nights, something that's very magical.
It does get the adrenaline flowing, and certainly brings out the teacher in you.
Oh, most definitely. I think that's the biggest thing. I think, in my own opinion, I think coaches make the best teachers. They know how to deal with all situations on the fly real fast, and it's amazing what you can see in athletics. In the classroom it takes a little bit longer sometimes, but you can see immediate results when you do athletics.
Clovis East on top of the football here. It's 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Chandler Hamilton barking out the signals. And on the reverse, it goes to Peyton Eccles.
Yeah, so they're like number 33. He's diving at the gap, inviting that double team. It's opening up a hole, but you're taking 2-on-1. So it's really important for that line to really communicate and really get around and do your blocks.
One key on the defensive perspective that I noticed away from the play was Carl Hawkins pile driving the quarterback, Chandler Hamilton. And I think that's one of the parts of the option is you always want to put a hat on that quarterback and make him know you're there and make him think twice when he's got the football.
Yep, I'm going to spy you.
Here goes Knight.
Yeah, that secondary's flying.
They are swarming to the football very effectively.
It's almost like, put 2 running backs at your guard position and then have those guys be your lead block.
And you looked at Romello Knight and you thought if he could have shirked that one tackler, if he could have managed to get out of the grasp, he had several more yards ahead of him.
Yeah, if you notice those guys are trying to do
big stiff arm, but
they're trying to pull, but that secondary is just a little bit too fast for them.
3rd and 10 now on the 34 for the Timberwolves. Wildcats creeping up. On the reverse.
Wide open.
Eccles, he is out close to the first down marker. Let's see where they spot it. And he's going to get the spot. Looks like he's going to get the spot. Looks like they're going to lay it down at the 45-yard line. And that will give the Timberwolves a first down.
If you've noticed that snap, I might be corrected on this one, that snap is going high to the left. That fraction of a second of timing, that can ruin the whole lot. That can ruin a lot of that timing with the running backs and your linemen. Something to watch for.
Spotted just shy of the 40, but it's a first down for the Timberwolves. Or 45, I should say. In motion, Eccles. Was faked to Romello Knight. Quarterback kept it and loses 6.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're seeing or what they're trying to, I don't know what their keys are right now. Maybe this might be one of those plays where, hey, let's just try it out, see what happens. As you see, like that big jumble, it's the big mound of people.
Big amount of people that the quarterback doesn't want to see. Are there certain keys that quarterback's looking at? Is there certain positions on the defensive front or the linebacking squad that quarterback's looking at before he decides where the ball's going to go? Romello Knight with the give.
With the infancy of the kids learning the offense, it might be a situation where the coach is calling it's a keep, a give, a pitch. It takes some of the thinking out for the athlete. But I think as time progresses and they get used to some of that real-time play, he might have that option, or he may have that option right now.
Timeout taken with 6 seconds left here in the first quarter of play. 6 seconds to play in the first quarter. We have yet to see a forward pass thrown by Clovis East. And talking about Romello Knight, whose name we've called quite a lot tonight, he carried the ball 24 times last week against Redwood for 126 yards, 13 times the week prior against Sanger High. Or correction, last week with Sanger, 13 times for 180 yards. So he is the workhorse. He's the guy who's going to get the carries.
I'll give it to the down foreman, the down forward linemen, because they're creating havoc with the line, and in order for them to pull and they're shooting gaps, they have to take the double team. Romello is actually that young man is about 1 block, 2 blocks away from breaking it big, but that secondary is closing in pretty quickly. What you alluded to earlier, talking about the dive option. Pretty much, I'm looking to see with those ends if anyone's crashing, to see if they're really biting on the dive. To look and see if I can get and keep it and go on the edge. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure at this point if it's a called play. Hey, you keep, you give, you pitch. On the reverse.
On the reverse, that's Peyton Eccles. Picks up about 6 yards.
That was a nice job by the lineman that time. They got around an extra body, and that's all it takes.
So that brings up 4th and 3, and if you have just tuned in, you're not going to see the punter. Just as you're not going to see a pass.
The punter's getting Gatorade right now.
And we've got a timeout taken on the field here.
Was that taken
by? That does end the first quarter of play. Yeah. With our score, Sunnyside High 7 and Clovis East nothing.
Yeah,
so our first quarter's been an interesting first quarter. I mean, Sunnyside march right down the field there with the score. But Clovis East has really churned up the yardage, and they've dominated the clock.
Right. See, as you can see, those guys are getting around. Lead block. All it takes is one body to get in the way. Well, you got to hit somebody first. But the body was there. Yeah.
Well, if there's one challenge to the double wing or any option offense, it's teaching time. And I'm sure what we're seeing, I don't know exactly when Coach Reynolds came on, whether it was in the summer or last spring or early in the summer, that gave him a lot of time to teach. But I'm sure it's going to take time for all these players to really understand the ins and outs of each position and each read in the double wing.
No, I agree with you, because I know Coach Reynolds has a very veteran staff, and he has all the support in the world. And and I have a lot of faith in the ability himself. But you can only go as fast as the slowest player for the most part. So having having all your different coaches be professionals in their own right, and really just breaking those concepts down and spending time with the kids, it's just a matter of time. I think by when they hit league, I think you're going to see a more competitive team. I think you're going to see a more polished team. You may not see as many points get on the board, but I think you're going to see a lot more blocks be finished. I think you're going to see a lot more effort on the line. I think you're going to see, because you see it out of the running backs already, out of your skill players. But the heart and soul right there is basically your lineman. Your lineman that's your lifeblood.
And they bring the sticks out for a measurement, and you see Sunnyside celebrating. Romello Knight with a terrific run there on 4th down, but he came up just inches short. So Sunnyside will take over on downs at their own 45-yard line.
Now, the way I look at it, though, is even though you went for 4th down and you didn't get it, and you missed it by a couple inches or so forth, you're still building upon your last play, which is perfectly okay, because during the big games, later on during the stretch, you're going to get those first downs.
Sunnyside 1st and 10. The fake on the reverse. Oh, big pressure and a big sack.
Oh, and a birdie.
I thought there was a penalty flag,
yeah.
but actually it was
Donovan
Cohn, the quarterback's yellow shoe.
Not a birdie.
He was flung out of his shoe.
So does that mean I need glasses?
I don't know if we can see this or get a camera on this, but at the far 20-yard line, away from the bench, on the running track, you have the Clovis East High School offense huddle up around their offensive coaches. As we'll take one more look at that play, as Donovan Kong wanted to get a screen pass going, but nothing doing as he
tuck that ball away.
Flung to the turf. But you can see at the top of your screen, that's the Clovis East offense. Short pass over the middle.
Nice quick pass.
Quick pass is good. Brings the ball out to the 47-yard line.
Nice read by Kong. Because even on that last play, it was a design, a screenplay. He did have some receivers open downfield.
3rd down, 10 from the 47-yard line. 3 receivers to the far side, but Carl Hawkins with a carry. He's across midfield.
That's
down
the
near
birdie.
The 45-yard line, and a penalty flag.
That's old. Sunnyside, I'll give it to him right now. I think we get the replay on that. I think I could have driven my truck through that hole.
We've got a hold to call on Sunnyside.
Does he want it? 66.
That will negate the terrific run there by Carl Hawkins.
You mentioned the offense sitting on and watching the monitor as they're watching the plays and watching the mistakes. This all ties into education, everything that we do. Always a teachable moment. Always a teachable moment.
Well, the penalty will bring up 3rd and 20. The ball at the 36-yard line for Sunnyside. Donovan Kong from the pistol. Carl Hawkins alongside, but he's going to put the football up in the air.
Nice coverage.
Evades the rush. We've got a penalty flag again. Airs it out. Complete. That's Jacoba Sneed weaving his way in and out of defenders before he is finally brought down at about the 13-yard line. But I think this one's coming back.
Right. The defense did a great job when they saw that rollout. That's when the defense broke down in the secondary and they came up and let that guy deep. That's something to definitely look at on film.
Well, now I don't see a penalty flag on. We saw one come flying out,
but they waved it off.
They must have picked it up.
Big play for Sunnyside.
Absolutely. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 from the 10, I want to say. Trying to see through all this. Yeah, there's the official who had picked up the flag.
Yep.
The head linesman now running back into position, tucking the flag back in, and he sets up at the 12-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10
play
for the Wildcats. Give up the middle.
Oh, look like he gave it up.
Stopped after maybe a gain of a couple there.
Kong had a nice release, too, on this right here. On this
3 in
replay.
his 2nd and 7. He evaded the rush and was able to get himself set. Make a nice throw.
Yeah, as you can see that secondary there, they came up. They had nice coverage originally. Another run play up the middle.
Mauricio Cayetano trying to dance his way through the second layer of tacklers, but he picks up 4.
Hey, they're churning away all right.
Absolutely. They've got that ball down to the 5-yard line now. 3rd down and 2 from the 5. Sunnyside up 7-0 and trying to add to that lead.
And a little wedge.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage. So now that brings up a big question for Gordon Wood. 4th down and about a yard.
Set the statement right now.
Absolutely.
Set the statement. Your game 4, you've had some pretty good games. Timeout.
Timeout taken as Donovan Kong comes over to the sideline to talk to his head coach, Gordon Wood. And across the way at the opposite 20-yard line, we see that Clovis East offense still huddled up around their coaching staff.
Oh, they're going for measurement. If you're Gordon Wood right now, you're feeling pretty good about your offense and defense. So let's see this on the monitor right here on that last big play. See if we can see something with the secondary. Defensive line doing a pretty good job. But once again, speed kills. And nice yards after catch.
So he did a terrific job, you're right. And a lot of open space.
That's the best part about being athletes be athletes.
Sunnyside up the line of scrimmage here. 4th and 1. Ball on the 3-yard line as Gordon Wood's going for it. Carl Hawkins in the backfield. It's Donovan Kong with a keeper.
Looks like they may give it to him.
First down.
You know, it's kind of nice, though, looking at both sides on both sidelines, and you see numbers of students out there. In regards like football players, you don't see a squad of 35. You're not seeing a squad of in the low 30s. You're seeing some good numbers where you can just replace bodies.
Terrific participation. You're right. 1st and goal from the 1. Carl Hawkins bowls his way in for the touchdown. Sunnyside with his 2nd score. Grab a 13-0 lead.
No, I didn't watch that game against when Sunnyside played Clovis North, but I believe they were up 19.
That was 19-6, and then Clovis North came back and pulled it out quite late. So they could easily be a 2-1 team right now.
Right.
Knocking at the door of being 3-1. Taking a look at Donovan Kong's effort as he bowls his way in. Actually, going to Carl Hawkins.
That Garden does a nice job getting around, being a body.
Jose Ortiz with the point after.
So this is almost a time where you've got to remind your team, hey, fellas, this game isn't over. There's a lot of time left.
So with 8:02 to play here in the first half from Sunnyside Stadium, the host Wildcats go up by a 14-0 advantage over the Clovis East High Timberwolves. And as you mentioned, Coach, this is going to get tough now for Clovis East to be able to come back. Are you playing to try and come back, or are you playing to try and hone the offense, perfect the attack, create a learning situation that prepares you for league play?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's actually all the things you said here, Brad. Right now, it's so early in the game. I'm trusting my offense. This offense is definitely capable of chewing up yards. It's a matter of them having that learning opportunity over there, sitting as a whole squad, and seeing their adjustments and seeing the potential mistakes or opportunities to take, so that your running backs can get to the second level.
14-0 Sunnyside on top here from Sunnyside Stadium. Glad you're with us here on CMAC. Great work being done by our crew all around the stadium tonight. And
All the
Clovis East
students.
offense still huddle up there at the far 20-yard line.
I think that's the defense now.
Yeah,
That's the
right.
defense.
You're right. Jose Ortiz gets the signal from the official and tees it up straight down the middle. No, actually a pooch kick works to the far side, goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
I'm not sure if I understand that right now. If I've got that much speed on the team, I might just let the guys hunt a little bit.
Why not? Why not?
Hey, during practice, they're running sprints. Let them hunt. Get paid. Because look at that field position already. That's good stuff. You can't pin anybody back.
Clovis East out for their second possession of the second quarter. 8:02 remaining until halftime as Sunnyside sits on top by a 14-0 lead. Timberwolves from that double wing is the quarterback, Chandler Hamilton, a 5'9" sophomore. Controls that offense with the experience he's getting this year. Watch out the next couple of years. Give goes to Romello Knight, the big workhorse in that backfield. Gets back to the line of scrimmage before being brought down.
That's actually a nice job by the offensive line. It's not just maintaining the block. Yeah, sometimes it's very difficult because when you make the adjustment and you're just not as fast as the other player and you can't maintain that block because someone's so fast, you can't anticipate where they're going to be. Sometimes, and that once again, that comes along with being experienced with the offense.
Second down and 9 from their own 36-yard line. Give on the reverse, that's Eccles. And he's got a hole. Across midfield, over the 45 to the 43-yard line. Peyton Eccles, the 5'8" junior running back, a terrific job bursting over the middle and down to the 45-yard line is where the spot winds up.
I wouldn't doubt they'd run it again. Wouldn't doubt it at all.
Exactly right. Yeah. Went on the reverse this time to Peyton Eccles.
There's that nose guard, the number 33, that's making the penetration. You got to neutralize him. If you neutralize 33, you're giving yourself a shot. But, give it to 33. He's not, doesn't look like the biggest guy out there, but something tells me he's pretty quick. He's creating havoc.
Second down 9 at 44-yard line. Timberwolves in a game of catch-up, down 14-0 to Sunnyside.
And they get the 5.
Flags of plenty flying, and it looks like we've got an offsides call.
Hey, a cheap 5's a good 5 to me.
Clovis Sneed jumped on the near side. .6:30 remaining here in the first half of play. Sunnyside Stadium, glad you're with us here on CMAC for high school football. Sunnyside high on top 14-0. Clovis East driving. Second down and 4 at the 39-yard line. Give goes to Knight. Looks like he picks up a couple.
They missed one block. That one block was crucial.
Rather, you've mentioned it before tonight. He is on many of his carries just one block away from being able to spring a big one.
What's nice about the offense is that they kind of adjusted the offense where the quarterback is set back to get a little bit more of a look, a little bit more of a read. Give yourself more options for when you do throw the ball. Give yourself a little bit more time for the lineman. Your quarterback's not doing a direct block as the traditional double wing. Oh,
Eccles, and they had that thing.
Same play on the other side. Yeah, they're missing the block on the edge. It's amazing when I see the offense, and I saw Tim run it a few years ago. When he was up at Clayton Valley, it was amazing. We used to do the Fresno State camps, and I had 2 athletes. I had 2 running backs that were my studs, and we were at the Fresno State camp, and I sent them home because they missed curfew. So that kind of left us with like, oh my God, who do I put in next? So we ran. We called it wing I. So I had my quarterback back, and I had him at the wing in the back because I had no option. But it was great because it gave us time. It wasn't our base offense, but we got to play with it. And so it's nice to see the progression, because there's a lot of things you can do having that quarterback in the backfield.
Sunnyside High takes a timeout there with 4:49 remaining until the half. 4th down and 6. Clovis East at the Sunnyside 41-yard line. And
yeah,
from my perspective, it looks as though Gordon Wood has prepared his team very, very well. And you don't get that many practices to get ready for a very unique offense like this, but they seem to be a group of young men that know their reads and have done a nice job of picking things up.
No, I agree. It's sometimes the schools that we play, are undisciplined. They play undisciplined football. But what I'm also seeing along that football field, I see a lot of guys is believing and flying around. That belief system and having a little bit of athletic ability with you, that can create some havoc. But Clovis East played last week on Thursday, so they had Friday, they had the whole weekend. So, I don't think they're not in a horrible spot. I just think they definitely need to chunk away. By the time, that clock expires, possibly get 3 points, just get on the board. Or even if they don't get on the board, I think they'll still be fine. But yeah, hats off to Sunnyside. Those guys are playing a heck of a game right now.
4th and 6 from the 41-yard line. Chandler Hamilton. The pitch to Romello Knight.
Oh.
Picks up a couple of yards, but he's arm tackled and brought down. And
Deshaun Ruffin.
Well shy of the first down. Deshaun Ruffin with the tackle there. Deshaun Ruffin, a terrific job.
Did you see that?
Deshaun Ruffin, the young man who's made a commitment to play at Fresno State next season.
That's probably a reason why. That guy just laid out for it and grabbed him on the shoestring and yanked him back.
Did a nice job.
Not many athletes can do that.
Well, Sunnyside will take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line as we take another look here. And once again, JoJo, we've talked about this. Romello Knight just really one tackle away from breaking a big one.
Yeah, and I think 9 out of 10 teams, that same play, you're gonna eat up some yards. But you had Ruffin on that one, didn't work.
Donovan Kong from the pistol brings it out to the near side. A lot of running room and a first down. Penalty flags fly.
That's what's hard about a read defense, is that it's predicated on you making a read and reacting to the ball and reacting quickly.
Taking a look, and let's see if we can pick up the penalty, looking for the signal from the official. And we've got a hold on Sunnyside that'll bring it all back, but a terrific effort there. And it looked as though the Wildcats had themselves a first down, but instead they're going to be looking at a 1st and 15.
I don't know. If I'm Coach Wood, I might be thinking about doing the exact same thing on the other side.
Why not?
Spread them out.
Yeah.
You see how they're reacting to the football. Might as well get your cheap 5.
Sends 3 wide receivers to the far side. 2 to the near side.
It's one of those things. I'm an armchair coach right now, but I'm seeing a mismatch. And I'm like, hey, if this is a Madden game, hit the X.
On the reverse. And Sherwin King picks up about 6 yards before being knocked out of bounds by the Timberwolves.
The good thing about having a balanced offense, especially, is that, if you have the opportunity, you have the athletes, and you can do it, you attract more players. Because when you have guys that are on campus that want to play football, not everyone wants to run the ball, not everyone wants to throw the ball or catch. So a little bit for everybody.
2nd down and a yard from the 42. Give goes to the back. Gets his way around the far side and looks as though he has enough for the first down.
Yeah, he made something out of nothing on that one. That was lemonade. Watch as he bounces back to the outside. That's a pretty good individual effort right there.
First and 10 Wildcats. Give goes to Carl Hawkins. Picks up 5 before being brought down by 3 Timberwolves. Clock ticking down inside of 3:45 until halftime here at Sunnyside Stadium.
Yeah, we were talking previously about the most recent teams of Clovis East, and kind of getting down and blown out and having low numbers. I'm not seeing that quit. I'm seeing them fighting. So it's just about the adjustments, getting to the football and making something happen.
No, I think we're seeing a team rebuild. I think he's done a terrific job. The numbers are way up. The fire is burning.
Yeah. Brings back a lot of memories for me right now.
I'll bet. I'll bet.
At both schools.
Play stuffed at the line of scrimmage, driven back for a loss of a couple of yards. Looking now at a 3rd and about 6 for the Wildcats.
Nice play by number 12.
Trying to get that block, and it just wasn't there.
Jesse Hernandez on the tackle there.
3rd and 5 from the 42. Donovan Kong pulls it back. Overthrows his wide receiver, incomplete, brings up a 4th down.
I'm not sure what he was looking at. He was wide open.
Indeed.
Yeah, he hitched.
Gordon Wood looks like he's going to keep Donovan Kong and the rest of the offense out there on the field and go for it here on 4th and 5.
So I'm hearing that Donovan Kong went through a growth spurt.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, whatever
6'3", 6'4".
Whatever he's drinking, I need to give it to my kids.
Kong's going to take a timeout. 2:44 remaining in the half. Sunnyside on top 14-0 and trying to continue the current drive in need of a 4th down and 5 play to.
I don't know, Dan.
Yeah, a big first down.
So yeah, 2:44. You're up 14-0. You're on their side of the house right now. You know, what's the worst that could happen? You know, like your defense has been doing a great job stuffing them. You know, they've only got, I don't know, shoot, the longest drive would be, 30, 40 yards at the most, and that was early on. So, I don't know. I think you do go for it here. No hard counts. Just go for it. Now, the question is, do you go for an intermediate pass, or do you try to go for a dagger and, and put
They've been
my
most
athlete?
successful on the intermediate pass routes. I think you stick with that.
Yeah. I kind of want to see an air show right now, though. I'm trying to it's wishful thinking. Oh, they're going to punt.
Well, conversely, Clovis East, with their ability to run the football, of getting this ball back inside of 2:44, a long drive and score to end the half would send them to the locker room with a boatload of confidence. The fake, the throw, in and out of the receiver's hands, incomplete, and that'll go over to Clovis East on downs.
It's a gutsy call. Why not?
Absolutely.
Once again, you had nothing to lose right there. Not unless Clovis East breaks the play for 60 yards.
Jacoba Sneed with that ball going in and out of his hands. Slapping himself, frustrated that he wasn't able to haul it in and complete the first down play. Ball goes over on downs to Clovis East. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line, their own 42-yard line. 2:35 remaining until halftime. Hamilton at quarterback.
Looks like their defensive end is already offsides on Sunnyside. Nice
it goes
play.
to Nichols. Correction, Eccles on the spin, and he picks up about 2.
Hey, that was a nice block by Romelio. So it's I don't know if there's a replay on that, but it looked like if he hit that hole and bounced it to the outside, that was open. But then again, that's from my vantage point.
Quick to the line of scrimmage. Clock's at 2:12. Quarterback with a keeper, and he's going to lose 5.
You brought it up earlier. The defense is doing a nice job of reading keys.
For not seeing the double wing, this group has done an excellent job of preparation. Because they know what they're looking for. They know what the keys are that they need to be reading, and they have really done a nice job. We take another look at that last play, as there was just no escape there for Chandler Hamilton whatsoever.
Now, I could be wrong, but, Coach Wood is from San Diego, and San Diego is my hometown. My hometown ran double wing on several different cities, so he might have been already, privy to that.
Dust off an old scouting report.
Right.
Plug it in. 3rd and 13. Clovis East takes a timeout. Well, 1:16 left of the half. Clovis East taking a timeout, leaves them with 1 remaining. Sunnyside with no timeouts left here in the half. Sunnyside sitting on top 14-0, and Clovis East would love nothing more than to complete a good 60-yard drive and go into the halftime locker room only down 1 touchdown.
Right, gets in that early, get some success right now. Well, you do have success, but it's easy for us to say it because we're not the ones on the football field right now. But from this vantage point, hey, you have a lot to be happy about. But it's what I am seeing though is I am seeing a tale of a team that's a little bit faster. You know, so you can miss an assignment, but if you've got speed, you can make it up. You know, case in point, when we saw that young man, Ruffin got blocked. He got kicked out, but he beat the block and jumped forward, lunged forward, and grabbed the running back. And so instead of having a 30-yard gain, it was, 6?
Absolutely. Good, terrific job on that play. Third down, 13 from the 39-yard line. Give goes to Romello Knight. Big gain down to the 48-yard line before being dragged down. That'll leave him about 4 yards shy, 5 yards shy of a first down. But Romello Knight, once again, he was a tackle away from taking it to the house.
Oh, most definitely. Look at this. How he hits that hole, then that burst of speed. Hits the hole and puts his head down and just keeps turning butter.
Actually outruns his blockers.
Yeah. Speed.
46 seconds left. Fourth down and 4 from the 49-yard line. Chandler Hamilton talking to his coach. Brings in the play as the clock's running inside of 30 seconds.
Delay of game. I don't think that was a called play.
That marches it back to the Clovis East 49-yard line.
But I don't think it definitely changes too much in the play calling at this point. Run the same play again.
Quick kick.
Yeah, get it away from him.
Nice run back up to the 40-yard line.
Good call. See, this is the hardest part about when you punt. Says you see where he got the ball and he pretty much ran it up to the 40. You run a play, you get 3, 4, or 5 yards. You know, the only difference is about maybe 5 yards. So I guess you could make an argument for kicking it or running it.
Penalty flag on the field as the officials meet near the 40 to discuss this.
So if you're Coach Wood at this point, you have a little bit of fun, 13 seconds left. Stretch the arm out.
Why not?
Hey, what do you got to lose right now?
He's got speed on the perimeter. What a personal foul.
Let the kids have some fun.
Personal foul called against Sunnyside. So they will take possession. Ball will be spotted at the 25-yard line. With 13 seconds to play in the first half, Sunnyside sitting on top 14-0 over Clovis East. Glad you're with us here on CMAC.
No, they're playing a little bit deeper.
So let's see what the Wildcats opt to do here.
How about the old good hook and ladder?
I haven't seen that in a long time. Donovan Gone to the near side, underthrows Carl Hawkins. 8 seconds on the clock.
That got a nice little scat back where everyone's playing soft. Hey, why not? Give him a shot on the edge. Make it a foot race. Yeah, I'm surprised that they did a couple jet sweeps to both sides. They've kind of gone away from that.
Yeah, they have. Second down, 10 at the 25-yard line. And it looks as though Kong is just going to take a knee. That's exactly what he does, and that's going to take us into halftime.
Hey, solid first half of play for Sunnyside.
Very impressive first half. You're right, and I like a lot of what I'm seeing from Clovis East. as they have picked up a lot of yardage and held a lot of possession time.
Yeah, one or two blocks
yet to get
away.
on the scoreboard.
1 or 2 blocks away.
So as we hit halftime, our score here at Sunnyside Stadium, the host Sunnyside High Wildcats sitting on top by a 14-0 advantage over Clovis East. And thus far through the first half of play, we saw some good things from both these sides. We saw some pretty good passing. Donovan Kong getting their offense going. Carl Hawkins impressive. But that double wing, it's back at Clovis East.
It is back at Clovis East. I truly believe that it's going to take a little bit of time. We've got some highlights coming in. Definitely, there's no shortage of highlights, I should say there. Because definitely some different learning opportunities for the linemen there. What I do like is that I'm really impressed with that Romelio. You give that kid a seam, he's gonna make
so close to popping big wins. Let's take a look at our highlights here. The first half as they're being assembled in the truck, but pretty impressive efforts as we've got Clovis East sitting on top by 2 touchdowns. But Romello Knight, very, very impressive. This was in the first quarter of play as he got a hole off right tackle and away he went. And it was only that last-ditch effort by Sherwin King that brought him down and prevented a Clovis East touchdown. Take another look. He follows his blockers very well.
Oh, most definitely. So by him following those blockers, that's an extra 2-3 yards off the get-go.
The quick kick there by Sunnyside, something that they like to do. And like Clovis, he's got a terrific return out of it, bringing it back beyond. They're almost to midfield, I should say. Again, we see all the different variations of the double wing.
All right. That reverse is there. It's once again, that was that number 33, that Jacob Olivares. The kid's creating havoc in the middle.
By Clovis East's second possession, it was very clear that Sunnyside really had a plan to defend this.
Right.
So it was Sunnyside that punched it in twice. Quarterback keeper from a yard out, their first score, Donovan Kong scoring, and then also from short yardage, a couple of yards out, you had Carl Hawkins busting it in the second quarter for a 14-0 lead, and that's where we are here at halftime at Sunnyside High School. The host Wildcats up 14-0 on Clovis East. We'll be back with much, much more after this from CMAC.
In the Agri-Science and Technology pathway, each year, students are cohorted with 3 teachers. One is an ag emphasis and 2 are general ed teachers. So in freshman year, they take the Agri-Science class. Sophomore year, they do a soil chemistry class. And then by the time they get to junior and senior year, they have the choice of going into more environmental science or plant science, or they can go into the agricultural mechanics.
We've been taught how to work together, did a lot of mechanical work, a lot of woodworking, some welding.
The cool thing I've been learning at Pathway is mainly testing the soil.
I learned how to use the handsaw. We learned how to weld.
See whether it has like a good pH, the soil is good or not.
With our linked learning teams, our teachers actually work together and they create cross-curricular projects. This is project-based learning, and the students are exposed to more relevant and real-world learning.
Learning how to plant and grow different types of plants and how they grow and the environment they need to be in for them to grow.
We worked on cutting metal with different kinds of ways. There's a torch and the plasma cutting.
We did a project called Biodome, and it was where we plant our plants in a 2-liter bottle.
I learned how to plant them in the bottle and how they can survive.
The name of this class is Advanced Interdisciplinary Science for Sustainable Agriculture,
where we learned how to determine the GMOs on certain type of crop.
I've learned how to research data and put together a lab, actually produce a lab on our own.
My first year, like Mr. Sue, Mr. McGarry, Miss Adams, they're all like cool. I love all my teachers. They are pretty much family to me. I have to see them every day. They have to see me every day, right? So get to know them, get a relationship, and just becomes a relationship, not even trying to be one.
You're around the same people and you're in the same classes, so you get to know one another. And if you need help with the project, then you can always come to them.
We go along the years, same people, get to build with each other, and we just get along. It's a family.
We have a lot of the same teachers, so we get to build more relationships with the students and the teachers and get closer and get to know them better.
There's a lot of socializing and you can help each other out, and it's more comfortable when you know each other to do your projects and work.
You get help. I don't think you're stuck on also without having to like really shy about things. Yeah.
I really like the teaching staff because they really help you out.
Well, I love this committee. I love my students and my peers.
We went on a lot of field trips and we visited a lot of ag companies. We went to the Ag Expo just last week, and it was really fun. We got to see so many different booths, learn about different companies, drones, like everything. It was really fun.
We get to meet with farmers and other businessmen across the world.
One of our overarching goals in the agri-science pathway is that students get exposed to all the careers that are available in ag. So a lot of them have never been exposed to ag, so our hope is that once they see what's out there, they'll consider it as an option.
I plan to go to Fresno State, and especially the agricultural program over.
After my graduation, I plan to do a major in veterinarian.
Future plans, since I learned how to weld, I want to go to Fresno City welding.
I thought about being in the animal health science or the agricultural engineering.
After graduation, I plan on going to Stanford or UCLA or any Ivy League that accepts me, really.
Homeroom is foundational to Sunnyside High School. We understand the importance of relationships in learning, and with our homeroom program being as unique as it is, we're the only high school in Fresno that has a homeroom program. What we are saying is that we understand that relationships are important, that they need to be long-standing, and that every student needs to belong to something. And with homeroom, we know every student, if they're not involved in a sport or a club, they're all in a homeroom, so it's foundational.
The benefits of homeroom is that the students will stay with that one teacher over the next 4 years while they're here at Sunnyside. They will get to know the students in their classroom and get to know the teacher, so that they have that one place that they can go to that can be kind of like their home. You can build a sense of community, a sense of family within the classroom, and connect with not only the students in the classroom, but have that connection with a staff member on our campus.
So our homerooms, the activities vary. For one, we have a very solid anti-bullying program in homeroom. That's students participate in activities every other meeting. And then in the in-between meetings, we take care of a lot of school business. That's where we do surveys and get parent information out. We also enjoy our weekly video broadcast from the Video Production Academy. That now has turned into quite a wonderful production that our whole student body gets to see, and it informs everybody on campus about what's happening for the week through that video broadcast. So that's what we do in homeroom. One of the largest benefits we see is that long-standing relationship with a positive role model adult on our campus that all of our students are experiencing. Not only that, but from an adult perspective, gives our teachers a chance to really get to know some students over 4 years that they may otherwise not have had that long-standing relationship with. And quite frankly, I think homeroom is what makes the Wildcat family because of those long-standing relationships.
Teachers Academy is a Fresno Unified School District program that's offered at several of the high schools, and it is basically helping students, high school students, become prepared for a career in the field of education.
This academy really does help you if you want to be a teacher in the future, or if you're thinking about it, because you're getting a lot of experience. Like, I didn't know a lot of things, but now that I've been in the classroom more, I know what goes behind the scenes of being a teacher.
Students their junior year would take child development, and that's where we learn basics about how the growth and development of children, infants, toddlers in school age. And then their senior year, they will take careers in education, which is a course that we actually do field site visits and work at a field site where they gain classroom experience working with school-age children.
Things that I've done with my students have been things like I've prepared 2 bulletin boards, and that's like decoration for the classroom, inside or outside. And also reading to them. I sometimes get the whole class as a group, or smaller groups, like students that need the most help.
The Careers in Education course is a work-based course. So students will become a part of an elementary classroom. They'll become a viable member, contributing in many ways.
What I do in the classroom is that I grade tests, I grade homeworks, and I file both of the tests and homeworks. Also, what I do is I assist in recess, and after the recess, I usually take a small group, generally between 4 or 5 students. I take them out to the commons area, which I will help them with English or math.
During the year, we develop specific job skills that will be beneficial in a classroom, and upon graduation, if they meet the requirements, they will be able to apply for and receive jobs as paraprofessionals within the Fresno Unified School District.
The relationship I have with these students here at AIR is that I have more of a student-teacher relationship, which I go one-on-one with them. I tell them what they need to do, what they should do, and hopefully I become a role model to the students.
Well, to get involved in the Teachers Academy, you can either talk to your counselor, or you can come to my room S118 and come and ask me some questions, and we'll try to connect you in the right places, because we really want students that have a passion to work with young children, and so we welcome you.
My role is to staff the after-school program with numerous types of clubs. The program's been on campus, I believe, since the inception of the school, which was in 1999. The program takes place in numerous places on campus. The main point is the library, where there's a tutorial every day after school. It's in the weight room, the wrestling room, cafeteria. There's also a super snack offered at 3:30 every single day. It's created just to give kids that don't participate in sports or anything offered after school through the actual school just more opportunities.
I go to after school program and do homework, and I hang out with my friends and play League usually.
Yeah, I do a lot of my homework here. It's a lot of fun too sometimes.
I like to come in, hang out with my friends, do my homework. Everybody can come in here and just, unwind from the school day, get rid of all their problems, play on the computer and all.
It just gives them an opportunity to do things otherwise they wouldn't be able to. It gives them, helps them just develop interest in other things outside of school. So, take example, Zumba is a really cool class that kids can just do and have fun.
I find it a fun place to go to hang out with my friends, because I usually do nothing after school, and going to after school program is like I'm actually doing something that that would help me.
I like it the way it is, and I hope it never goes away.
AVID is basically a program that stands for Advancement via Individual Determination, and it's a program to
Yep. Welcome back to Sunnyside High Stadium, and I'm Dan Taylor, and with me, Jojo Reyes, the former head coach at Roosevelt High School, and 14-0 our score. Sunnyside, the hosts, on top. Your thoughts of the Wildcats' performance in the first half?
Hey, if I'm Coach Wood, I'm telling my boys, hey, keep doing what you're doing. Stay loose. Don't get cocky. Learn what happened over against Clovis North, and let's squeeze this one out. We have 24 minutes left to play, and you just have to go and just pin your ears back. Don't lose containment, and just play football.
Defensively, they've been very impressive in shutting down Clovis East double wing. Offensively, the Wildcats have mixed it up very effectively. A few deep balls, a lot of short passes, good running game. Clovis East, on the other hand, as we thought, yet to throw a forward pass in this game. They have been running the double wing, churning it up between the 20s, but yet to get in the end zone.
Right, I think with the technology that they have right now when they're sitting with their linemen on the offense and defense, I think they're really pointing out that, hey, this is the key. You get this block, this will happen. If you get this block to this block, we'll do our job. So right now, as we talked about earlier, is it about, moral victories? Is it about a teaching moment? It's all of it right now. I think it's actually just honing that system. Kind of like talking about baking that cake. You're finding the right mixture and the right recipe that's going to work.
Well, as you mentioned, being a San Diegan, we talked about Gordon Wood, the Sunnyside coach, being from San Diego, the head coach at Helix, great program where he had...
and we beat him.
Exactly. He had Alex Smith and Reggie Bush in his day, but a lot of schools down there that played the wing, and he's got a scouting report on how to defend it.
Yeah, there's a lot of schools. I remember Ramona High School. I think that was back in before the year 2000. I remember they ran the double wing, and we had a hard time stopping it, and they were a smaller school. And then so since then, even the progression in the past, 20-some-odd, 30-odd years, you saw the onset of the wing T. Wing T was really big for a while. Right. A lot of the big schools. All these schools are coming to my name, but I don't want to call anyone out. But I got to give a shout out to Mount Carmel High School. Those guys that's my heart right there. Sun Devils for life. But a lot of great football down there, but, they're really in the trend of football. So I wouldn't be surprised if Coach would have seen the double wing, because I know in the North County some teams ran the double wing, and there's a lot of coaches over there and a lot of great athletes.
Well, he's coaching his team as though he knows how to defend it, because they've done a very nice job. Very impressive first half for Sunnyside. Sunnyside, of course, trying to go to 2-2. They had a close encounter in their opener, had that 19-6 lead on Clovis North, and ended up at the wire, coming up short 20-19, then came back and went up against the juggernaut, the Central High Grizzlies. We saw that game here 2 weeks ago. Central High winning at 56-6, and that win vaulted Central High to number 1 in the Valley High School football rankings. And last week, of course, a victory down in Visalia over Mount Whitney certainly helped their morale and their enthusiasm coming in. And tonight, at halftime, they're on a track.
They're feeling pretty good.
Win number 2, the way they're playing.
Yeah, when you said Central and Juggernaut, those weren't in small caps. Those were in big caps.
They're impressive. Very impressive.
Very impressive squad indeed.
Scores in the first half. You had in the first quarter with 3:06 left. Donovan Kong, the quarterback, on a keeper from 11 yards out, put Sunnyside on the board, number 1. And then with 8 minutes left in the second quarter, the young sophomore running back Carl Hawkins with a 1-yard run off the right tackle. And that's where we stand 14-0. Second half is underway, and we've got a big hole there.
Oh,
for
nice hit.
Ruffin, the Fresno State commit, bringing it all the way up to the 37-yard line before being shoved out of bounds.
Michael Hammond. Put a
Revan Heights actually on that one. Number 9, Revan Heights with the return. Very impressive.
Yeah, 25 came in and gave a shot. That's one of those where I hope they have the replay, because that'd be a fun one to take a snippet and send it to grandma. But, that's kind of gutsy, kicking it in the middle. I'm not sure if I would have kicked it in the middle against Sunnyside at this point. Yeah. See it coming over the sideline. You can see a nice little shoulder.
Wildcats packing up the defense. They're packing up the formation. Ball on the ground, but we've got penalty flags flying.
Yeah. What was it, John Madden? What does he say? Boom?
On the offense, number 16.
Illegal motion.
5 yards.
They'll march it back 5 yards. And we'll be looking at 1st and 15 from the 38-yard line.
Hey, this could be a tale of two halves right now. You really don't want to start your first play like that. Complacency can get you.
Donovan Kong, number 12, the quarterback, moving behind his center there in the middle of your screen. Glad you're with us. here on CMAC for high school football, week 3 of our season. Donovan Kong looking downfield, flushed from the pocket, throws up near the first down.
You know, a nice job to the defense there. They had the deep cover, but that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult on those outside linebackers, because when you get someone that's going on that swing pass, you got to be able to read that real quick like. And actually, you know, as he's rolling out, getting those defensive ends, trying to get them in their faces of the quarterback.
Actually looking now at second down at about 4. Give goes to Carl Hawkins. He
Nice
is
grab.
dragged down by the shoulder, very close to the first down marker.
That could have been some big yardage
There's
right there.
extracurricular activity going on after the play was done.
It's patty cake. We're playing patty cake.
So that's what you call it.
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
Hey, there's sometimes there's a thing as a good penalty. Sometimes you want to see a little life out of somebody. You know? And right here, it's kind of safe.
Spot's good for Sunnyside. Gives the Wildcats a first down at their own 49-yard line. Kong out of the pistol. With the give, this is Brevin Heights.
Nice job by the defense containing that. Hey, that's good defense tactic. You know, you notice how you see everyone by the ball right now? No one's standing around.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's a sign of good coaching. Good job, defense.
Heights loses about 2. Now they're going to spot it a loss of 1. Second down and 11 for the Wildcats.
So once again, for that balanced defense, look for something in the intermediate pass on the left side here.
Give up the middle. That will get back to the original line of scrimmage where the play is stuffed. Wildcats on top 14-0, 10-14 in the third quarter here from Sunnyside Stadium. Beautiful night for football. We're seeing the flags blowing across the way. Quite a contrast to 2 weeks ago, the Central Sunnyside game, when everybody was looking at their smartphones just before kickoff to make sure the air quality and the temperature were going to be such that the players could play. A lot of freshman and JV games that night postponed because of the high heat and the air quality, but not the case tonight. A beautiful night. Kong on 3rd and 9, looks over the middle, underthrows his man.
Yeah, what a stark contrast to that weather. 25 degrees.
Huge change.
25
Huge
degrees.
Change.
You know, I think looking at the offense right now, as everyone, they had 4 people downfield. That's almost where, okay, you know, I don't know enough about their offense, but hey, comeback route. They're all by the sticks. Come back. Kong has the height. He has the vision. He spread out the defense. You know, but once again, that could be a timing issue with his own team and getting to know each other in the offense. You know?
Donovan Kong back to punt. 4th and 9 from the 49-yard line. Punt nothing. He's throwing. Almost intercepted. Ball falls incomplete to the turf.
Something tells me he wasn't supposed to throw that ball. Maybe it's the coach yelling at him.
Coaches don't look too happy with him as he gets to the sideline.
Coaches don't get that animated.
Clovis East will take over 1st and 10 at the Sunnyside 49-yard line, trailing 14-0 here. Sunnyside Stadium. Week 3 of our high school football schedule on CMAC Sports. Glad you're with us tonight. Chandler Hamilton looking to the sideline. Audibilizing. There goes the give to Romello Knight, the workhorse.
Giving that 50 look.
They're going to credit him with a gain of 2. Brings the ball to the 47-yard line. 2nd down and 8.
A little more aggressive on the defense right now. You know, something to key on, especially with this offense, is looking at the ends and looking at outside linebackers. What are they doing?
This defense has been very impressive, especially in the second quarter. It goes to Romello Knight. Hit at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Oh, linebackers are flying.
But throughout this one, you just have the sense that Knight is a play away from popping a big one. He is a very, very dangerous runner. 6'1", 170-pound senior Romello Knight can go both ways, but he's the workhorse on offense. Ryan Reynolds trying to breathe life back into this Clovis East program that had such great success between 2000 and 2008. And since then has fallen on very hard times. It has been 7 years since this program last won a league game. Give again to Romello Knight. Cuts up.
Good second effort by Romello.
Excellent second effort. It's going to have him about 3 yards shy of the first down.
Right. As you notice, they're trying to go and get a little more to the outside right here.
Ball marked to the 38-yard line.
You know, as I know that as they're working with their lineman and the liner is getting that concept of what to do in the offense, they're going to get that. Because once they stop thinking about what they have to do and just react to what they're supposed to do, I think you're going to see the extra step that they need.
Wrapping up Romello Knight at the ankles. Oh, quarterback keeper up the middle.
Nice play.
Yeah, that was good of Fredo Aguilar on the keeper, so he took the direct snap and got enough for a first down.
Caught him sleeping.
Give goes to Romello Knight.
And
another big gain. Picks
Nothing
up
wrong
10,
with that.
still on his feet. Now he's down. That
That's
is
all you
very
need.
close to a first down.
Just churn away, 8 to 9 yards. Hey, I'd be happy with 3.5.
Ball marked at the 29-yard line.
See, is that one young man that block? That 34 was just waiting for him versus attacking him. If Hunt would have just attacked that player and just actually got in the way, you know, Knight would have made the move.
2nd down and 2 for the Timberwolves. Ball marked at the 28-yard line. High snap, penalty
some
flag.
movement. Yeah, unfortunately, a
That's
little bit
number
of movement.
66. 5 yards. Play 2nd down.
For the 5 yards, we'll set up a 2nd down and 7 now on the 34. Frustration for the Timberwolf coaching staff. We saw this in the first half, penalties stalling drives, and here it happens again. Can they shrug it off and continue this surge? On the reverse, Big Nichols.
You know, that last play I was watching, the line play. Kids are there. They just got to get to that point where they got to just pin the ears back themselves and say, hey, I'm taking it to you. Keep the feet moving, keep the balance. Because they make that initial hit, but they're not staying on their initial, on the block long enough to make that, letting your running back to make a move.
The ball is at the Sunnyside 31-yard line. 3rd down and 4. 5:35 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. Romello Knight.
Oh,
First
nice
down
effort.
and more. Pulled down at the 20-yard line.
You know, you talked a little bit of things about earlier, too, about the learning process. Not only with the learning process with these kids, with this offense, but this offense is definitely predicated on some power, too. Speed and power. So as they're getting back into the weight room and they're making that a priority, you know, you're going to see a stronger team as time progresses.
Absolutely. 1st and 10, Clovis East at the Sunnyside 19-yard line.
Gut check for the defense.
Double wing, very effective here on this opening drive. Romello Knight once again bouncing off tacklers.
Kid's got a motor.
Inside the 5-yard line.
Nice yards after contact. that defense has been out there for a little bit. I haven't seen a lot of kids sub in yet. So this is the time. If no one's going to sub in, you guys got to dig deep.
A bit more patient on his runs, letting the blockers set up.
Right.
He
nice
goes
hole.
off the right side. He
And
is in for the touchdown.
Yep, don't count him out.
Romello Knight from 5 yards out for the touchdown with 4 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the third quarter here from Sunnyside Stadium.
Every time that happens, you get more and more confidence to that offense.
Those blockers did a terrific job opening up the hole on the right side.
Fantastic. That's a belief system right there. That's a belief system you've got to keep growing upon and growing upon. Celebrate the wins.
Michael Hammond to attempt the extra point. Extra point is good.
You know, they didn't score many points last year, so they're learning how to score. You know, pretty soon they're going to have to learn how to win. But right now, hey, it's not too shabby getting points on the board. It's better than a big old goose egg.
Looks like a roughing the kicker is going to be our call, judging by the conference and the gestures among the officials. But Romello Knight, very impressively following those blockers. As fast as he is and as easy as it is for him to want to turn on the Jets, I think one of the things we're seeing is he's learning patience. He's learning to follow those blockers.
Right. He's knowing the personnel that he has. Right? Adjusting his speed, adjusting his own speed to that offensive line's capabilities. So if you're Sunnyside right now and you're that defense, so is your mindset saying, all right, hey, we'll give up this one, but we're going to take it right back, you know? So this is where his team, where Coach Wood's team has to learn how to win.
Crazy thought here. Very crazy thought, but penalty, you're going to kick it off at the 45. When you see only 5 guys up front, do you even think of an onside kick?
That might be
thought.
a key, right? That might be a key.
And the
Nice
kick goes
kick.
deep into the end zone. And Deshaun Ruffin is going to let it sail out of the end zone. Sunnyside will begin their next possession from the 20-yard line. With 4 minutes and 38 seconds here in the third quarter of play, our score, Sunnyside 14, and Clovis East now on the board with 7.
Definitely a key possession for Sunnyside, because this is where that belief factor comes in. Because you don't know the resiliency of your team. You know what's going to happen now. Your defense was out there for a long time. If you don't get a couple first downs right here, your defense is right back out there. And then the communication breakdown as we're watching in front of us. Off tackle play doesn't look
Nothing
like
doing on the first play there for the Wildcats.
But also begs the question, do you deviate from what you had before? That was working.
Right. Second down, 11 from the 19-yard line. Donovan Kong up under center. Carl Hawkins, the back. Kong rolling out, looks for a receiver. A low throw, incomplete.
Oh, got a flag in the back.
Sherwin King arguing. I'm not sure if it was a hold or a face mask that he was arguing about.
See if we can find this penalty. Oh, might have been the backside. It was the backside judge.
I'll tell you what's a little confusing, you may have caught it, JoJo, is that a couple of times tonight we've seen a penalty flag fly, and there's somebody in the Sunnyside bench who has some yellow fabric. I don't know if it is like a penalty flag or a towel or what it is, and they're having fun tossing it up in the air and confusing us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
4:05 left in the third quarter.
The eyes are going.
Yeah.
Nice,
good story. All right.
Penalty is declined.
Illegal motion was that call. Second down and 11 from the 19-yard line.
You know,
Clovis East players applauding as if they expect more yardage to be marched off against the Wildcats.
there's an old buddy that used to coach at Clovis East, Greg Connor, and I remember that, anyone that's going to be listening replays on this, he'd always say, "Hey, Joe, there's momentum." Basically a momentum change. It's in the air.
That's
hey,
what Sunnyside needs right
momentum.
now. Give goes to Carl Hawkins, looking up the middle.
Oh,
ridden down
fighting for
at
yards.
the 25. Taking a look at that one is Hawkins with the handoff, looking for some running room.
I'm right about now. I'm Romello Knight telling my linemen, fellas, we got this. Give me a hole, and I'll make something happen. Give me that extra step, and I'll make something happen.
4th and 6. Sunnyside in punt formation. The Aussie rules style kick off the rollout.
And there's nobody out there.
And there is nobody on that side of the field. Off to the races. Justice Cantu. Out of bounds.
Little extracurricular activity.
Inside the 30.
By Mr. King and company. Don't need those wrong penalties. Nah, that's not the one you do not want right now.
Clovis East will begin possession at the 28-yard line.
For the offense, you're feeling pretty good about now. Defense, hey, defensive captain, get the boys. Hey, rally them up.
As they spot this ball, watch again, because the punt going to the far side and the coverage was set up to the near side. Suddenly everybody has to change directions, and Clovis East has got a big return opportunity to a vastly empty side of the field.
Wouldn't doubt it if they'd run to their side right now.
1st and 10.
Yep.
Romello Knight picks up a yard before he's wrestled down.
One thing you'll notice is that you may see a run right heavy right now, because a real good thing about the offense is that it's on your sideline, your hash mark. Like, you can communicate, your coaches can communicate with the players a little bit better. You get to see, you can make the quick adjustments without even calling a timeout. So look a lot heavy right.
2nd down and 8 from the 28-yard line of Sunnyside High. Clovis East playing catch-up, down 14-7 to the Wildcats, 2:38 to play in the 3rd quarter. Hamilton, the
right
gift to the
middle.
workhorse, Romello Knight. He is across the 25 down to possibly the 24. Ball is placed at the 24.
Get those big bodies in the way. Hey, defense is getting a little bit tired here. I see a little missteps. Not as active as before.
3rd and 4.
This offense can do that to you.
On the reverse, coming this way. There's running room. There's penalty flags.
Looks like a hold.
Peyton Eccles goes out of bounds. If the play stands, it will be a 1st down, but I'm not betting on it. Take another look.
This penalty may be Sunnyside's 12th man here. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, that was all right. I didn't see it.
Officials confirm,
holding.
and it is indeed holding.
On the offense.
Called against.
That's 10-yard penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
Clovis East High School, and that'll take a 3rd and 4 and push it back to a 3rd and 9. They overcame that on their last possession and managed to score, but these have got to be huge frustrations for the first-year head coach, Ryan Reynolds.
Right. I think as you watch the film, you definitely have to make it a learning situation. Kids nowadays specifically always want to know why. I wouldn't say the days of, getting into someone's dish and really challenging, it doesn't work, but, the kids nowadays, they just want to know why. Hey, just tell me, teach me, and I'll make the correction.
Knight with the carry.
Right about now would be time for a good pop pass. Oh, it's 4th down? No, maybe not.
Knight's effort takes the ball to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, Deshaun Ruffin on the right side as that left outside backer or corner. I would almost take a shot as like running it over to his side He got some good speed. I think he can seal out the edge. Let's see what happens.
4th and 7, 27-yard line. 59 seconds in the third quarter with the pitch. Knight with a burst.
He got some yards out there. Yeah.
Down to the 24.
Another
We've got a penalty flag again.
Ah. Oh, there's the hold. That's
and the
an
flag is
unfortunate
certainly
hold.
in the area of holding.
Yeah, it's number
But
13.
the Clovis East players are pointing in the direction of Sunnyside.
I was watching the replay. That kind of looked pretty egregious. I could be wrong. I've been many times I've been wrong.
Let's see the call here.
Holy.
We got a hold.
On the defense.
Oh, on the defense.
Number 8. 10-yard the penalty. First down.
I'll chalk that up in my wrong book.
That's a big break for Clovis East.
Yes,
Gives
it
them a
is.
first down.
That is huge.
And that will put the ball at the 16-yard line. Gordon Wood having a conversation with the official. Certainly not happy with the call. Can't blame him.
Yep.
Looked as though on 4th down they had to stop. And you see the Sunnyside coaches not happy at all, to say the least, about that call.
I don't think there was one time I got in an argument with a referee and I won. If anything, it was kind of more of a venting session.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it. 47 seconds left here in the third quarter. Clovis East trailing 14-7, but they're marching. They've got a first
Knocking
and 10
on the
at
door.
16-yard line.
Reverse.
Echols. Get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard.
Got tripped up.
Had Knight go in motion as the decoy, and Echols came to the near side.
Yeah, you got to maintain the blocks.
In comes the play call from Ryan Reynolds, the Timberwolves' first-year head coach, longtime assistant.
Middle's looking ripe. And there it goes.
Romello Knight close to the 10-yard line.
Great team effort right there on that.
There's a big play here.
Hell yeah.
Romello Knight,
Right
as
up
you
the gut.
see, taking the handoff and bulling his way over that defender. Three defenders actually trying to bring him down, and that's going to wrap up. Our
Fourth
third
quarter
quarter of play has come to an end here at Sunnyside High Stadium. Our score, the hosts Sunnyside High Wildcats 14, Clovis East 7, and the Timberwolves, Jojo Reyes, they're on the march.
Yeah,
Third down at the 10-yard line.
I've got to be a little biased on this one. It is very refreshing to see that offense and that team come alive. You know, it's a lot of history at that school, and it's, you know, luckily, you know, I was so busy with my own things going on, and I was not able to see it when it was at a low point. I don't think, quite frankly, I don't think I ever wanted to see it at a low point. So I'm really happy right now for the kids that are playing on that team that are learning something about themselves.
During that great stretch from 2001 to 2008, they were 76-22, 6 Tri-River Conference titles, 2 Valley titles, and twice they were in the title game and came away runners-up. So tremendous program that, as we mentioned, has fallen on some tough times. They have not had a winning season since 2008. They have lost 35 consecutive league games. A year ago, they were outscored by an average on the season of 39 points. They brought Ryan Reynolds, the former assistant, back. He'd been up in the Bay Area, and he has brought back the double wing and is trying to breathe new life into Clovis East football. And tonight, it looks like he's done it.
So far, so good. But I can tell you this, someone got into someone's ear over there on the defense, because I'm seeing that extra step that they need. That could be Coach Woods, that could be the defense coordinator, but somehow, some way, shape, or form, that defense is starting to perform.
Football is at the 10-yard line. The nose touching the 10-yard line. It is 4th down and 4 yards to go. Within field goal range, but they're not thinking 3. They're thinking 7 to tie. 4th and 4. Here we go. Big play for the Timberwolves. Ryan Reynolds takes a timeout. They want to talk this over. That's how important this play is.
Yeah, almost got, hey, it doesn't hurt to have a hard count. They're probably saying, hey, don't jump off sides. It's one thing, it's also for the defense, it's also one thing to say don't jump off sides, and they do jump off sides. Hey, it's a real good feeling. But, yeah, great. Hey, good time to take a timeout. Because that that cheap 5 yards we gave them the first down, first and goal. If you go for it here and you don't make it, it's perfectly okay. You're trying to build that culture of winning, and going for it and not second-guessing it.
Timberwolves with an impressive march thus far, facing 4th and 4 at the 10-yard line.
Many books have been written about brotherhood, football, and everything else. Because this is one of those things where it's a gut check. Your front five, this is where they have to learn to trust each other and say, hey, we have to do this. We have to open a hole. We have to beat them, mano-y-mano.
Second quarter, they were very, very impressive. It was very clear they have an excellent game plan for stopping the double wing, something that Gordon Wood was exposed to during his time coaching at Helix High School down in San Diego, in La Mesa, actually. Dusting off probably an old game plan from years ago, then putting it to use tonight. 4th and 4, ball on the 10-yard line. Oh, big gain.
There it is. Good.
Down to the goal line. Romello Knight, a 9+ yard gain.
That's a dagger. That's a dagger in the defense.
Huge play for the Timberwolves.
So right now, regardless of what the outcome of this game is right now, the thing is I'm on film highlighting that, saying, look, fellas, look what you are doing right now.
Romello Knight dives over the right tackle into the end zone for the touchdown. Romello Knight. That drive was 95% Romello Knight. A tremendous effort all the way around as he dives over the right tackle for the touchdown. It's 14-13. Timberwolves going for the tie.
Important extra point here. Looks like we have ourselves a football game here.
Absolutely.
Oh. Coachman on the far side. I don't know. I might have to go for 2 here. You put that ball in the 3. I'm running it. 1.5.
That doesn't seem to change Ryan Reynolds' thinking. T-Wolves still going to go for the single PAT, and the kick is up and good. And we've got a tie game at 14-14.
It's the right call. It's the right call. It's always easy for us to say it up here, right? Because it doesn't affect our jobs.
Very impressive drive, though, for the Timberwolves as they take it down. And Romello Knight was sensational on that entire drive.
So if you're the defensive coordinator, are you losing your mind, or what are you telling your players right now?
As we watch one more time as Romello Knight plays Superman and goes diving over the right side into the end zone.
Great effort.
Tremendous. Always a little anxious to see your running back reach that ball out there. You never want to see a defender come along and swat it away, but
you got to go for the go sometimes,
we're tied,
man. Yep.
And we've still got plenty of football to play.
Yeah, hey, I'm not counting Sunnyside out by any means.
Not at all.
Hey, they can punch it in. Now it's a belief system for them.
1 week ago, over here in this very stadium, we saw a tight ball game as well. We saw Mendota High sitting on a lead. They took possession of the ball with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left, and their final drive lasted 8 minutes and 40 seconds as they used that clock as their 12th man and held on for the win. Right now, 10:57 to play. The Clovis East will kick off to Sunnyside. So the Wildcats' 2-touchdown lead has evaporated as two players go for the kick. No communication. They collide. And Carl Hawkins is knocked down and downed at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, those are those mistakes on special teams right now you cannot make. You just pin yourself back less than the 20.
Deshaun Ruffin and Carl Hawkins colliding there, as you mentioned, and clearly missing out on the communication. As Sunnyside comes out, Donovan Kong leading his teammates out onto the field for a very, very big possession for the Wildcats. As you had mentioned, That 12th man, Momentum, has swung
Momentum
from Sunnyside's corner into Clovis East's. The handoff.
That looked like a little face mask.
Player brought down in the backfield. Looked up here as a face mask, but the line judge was right there on top of it and makes no call.
I'm not sure I would have ran that jet sweep to the short side. If I've got fast guys, I've got some little Giselles. I want to give them some room. Oh, got him by the jersey.
Johnny De La Cruz on the reverse, brought down by the jersey. De La Cruz now, Carl Hawkins, I should say, in the backfield. Give goes to Hawkins, and he has got some room to run, and we've got a flag. Probably a hold. It's in that area. Hawkins is knocked out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So we take one more look here coming up. Let's see if we can find the hold. And it looks like right there, the Clovis East linebacker, Christian Hudderberg, looks like he was trying to spin free to make the play and wasn't able to, and the officials usually can tell what the cause of that is, and that's why the flags came.
Is that the two-step? Like he was the
I don't know, but his jersey doesn't fit anymore. They're calling the equipment manager to go get him a small.
Yeah, that's right.
Donovan Kong conferring with Gordon Wood, then back in the huddle as Sunnyside now facing a 2nd and 19 from the 10-yard line.
Kong has options in his receivers.
Gets it away just as he's hit, and it's hauled in. A big gain and a big first down.
That was nice patience for him in the pocket.
Revan Heights hauling that ball in. A big first down grab for the Wildcats.
You know, if I'm Sunnyside, now I'm just going to nickel and dime and let my guys be guys and just let them be athletes. Give them the ball and run away with it.
Runs it out to the 35-yard line. Big first down for the Wildcats. 9:40 left in the ball game. Big gain for the Wildcats as they get it out to the 46-yard line. Pickup of 6 on their first play.
You know, and it goes back to that that first half in the second quarter. You're spreading them out. They're playing a soft defense, soft read defense. You have so much speed, you're going to get 3 or 4 yards in each carry. So why deviate?
Big night tonight for Sunnyside High School. A win would bring them to 500 at 2-2. And boy, they just keep looking back at that Clovis North game, that narrow loss and what could have been.
Right. Make it a track meet.
Give up right tackle. What a spin. And penalty flags fly as it looked one and all as though that was probably a face mask.
Yeah. Maybe on the replay we can see that because that's what I kind of saw the head go down a little bit.
Absolutely. We'll take another look and see if we can tell. But it looked up here like a face mask. But what a tremendous job the running back did to get free.
Looked like he had a finger in there. Inadvertent. Oh, they're walking it off. Yeah, I'd almost stay away from the middle. Stay away from the middle. Go to the perimeter. Because if they're playing read defense, they're playing off. And plus, if I'm on that read defense, you don't want to play anyone playing too close because you're going to get beat deep.
And the 15-yard penalty is going to take it across midfield to the Clovis East 48-yard line. Huge first down for Sunnyside here. 8:39 to play. And the Wildcats marching, hoping to regain this lead. Kong looks for a receiver. Comes to the near side. Heights is bottled up as soon as he hauled that pass in.
Good for 9 yards.
Looks like he gained about 7 or 8. Well, we're going to spot him with a gain of 9.
For Kong, that advantage of being, 6'4", 6'3"?
Absolutely.
Hey, good vision.
And we haven't seen Clovis East get much pressure on him tonight.
No.
Hawkins. Dances out of bounds.
You know, as a read defense, I am a huge proponent for as a read defense. But you have to practice it. You have to believe it, because all too often, as you know, we're growing up. Sometimes it's easier to run a 50 and just shoot the gaps, you know, and create havoc. And you saw that earlier with Sunnyside, create havoc. But with a read defense, you've got to be able to think. And so, you know, being new to the defense, if they are new to the defense, you have to think. And so if your mind is thinking of what your reads are, then that's making you a little bit slower. So it's just time. It's time.
1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for the Wildcats. Give to Hawkins, cuts it back. Picks up about 8 before he's brought down. Sunnyside is on the march, aided, of course, by the big penalty, but they are running the ball effectively. Their passing game has worked very well to set it up. Hawkins brought down by 5 Timberwolves defenders at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, this is a personal request. I just want to see a pretty ball being thrown right now. You're in striking distance. Just throw one for me right now, please.
2nd out and 2 at the 28.
Oh, pick.
Oh, intercepted. Big pick by
Huge.
The Timberwolves. And he may go.
And he is gone.
May go.
He's gone.
Reggie Williams.
Read defense.
Reggie Williams.
Nice job.
72 yards.
Wow, we got a flag. But that's after the catch.
Reggie Williams.
Look at the release on the ball. He was wide open.
That ball sailed on Donovan Kong. Reggie Williams, with the gift, takes it back 72 yards. And
I think that's going to make the news tonight. There's KMPH. That's a highlight. So if you're Clovis East, how can you not celebrate right now all the things that are happening? You know,
During the
this
return,
is a great time for them.
we have a block in the back.
For them to take the lead.
On the white, on the offense.
Right. And then keep the lead.
That's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down, Clovis West. Clovis.
So we will not see Clovis East celebrate the touchdown.
Well, I didn't see the call.
Missed it myself.
Hey, let's call it the make it interesting rule. Make it interesting flag. Not enough players on the field.
So with 6 minutes and 37 seconds to play, the Reggie Williams interception gives Clovis East possession. The penalty spots the ball at the Timberwolves' 46-yard line. Hamilton, Eccles, across midfield,
6
into
yards.
Sunnyside high territory, pickup of 6.
Good, and spreading the wealth of with the ball there.
Could mean that Romello Knight just needs a breather.
Yeah. He's like, don't worry,
There were
fellas.
not many
I'm
plays
getting
on
the
that
ball
last
again."
drive when he didn't carry the football.
You know, if you saw that last play, Romello, he stayed on his block. Stayed on his back. Fantastic.
2nd down 4 from the 48. Romello Knight. He's got a seam. Down to the 42-yard line and a Clovis East 1st down.
This is where the clock is your friend. We're a 0-0 ball game. You're chewing up the clock. You're on their side of the field, and you just got a 1st down. Yeah, this is definitely in your favor.
This is very much like what we saw last week with Mendota running the football so effectively over the final 8.5 minutes of the game. 1st and 10 at the 41. Romello Knight again. Keeps the legs churning. Breaks a tackle. And picks up 4.
You know, he got stuffed and made something out of nothing. That was great. Yeah, this is definitely one senior that's going to make the best of his last year.
Romello Knight with a big, big game tonight. He has scored both of Clovis East High's touchdowns. The Timberwolves yearning for their first win of the season. Eccles off the reverse. Gets to the Sunnyside 35.
Stop by King.
Picks up about a yard. That will bring up about a 3rd and 5.
So if you start averaging your runs here, you have 2 plays to get 5 yards. I like those odds.
Hamilton back in the huddle after conferring with his coach on the far sideline. Third and 5 at the 36. 4:08 to play. Romello Knight stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I don't think it's going to be too hard to guess what the play is going to be next. But then again, you've got 2 timeouts. You know, you want to stop the clock. 4th down and 4, potential hard count.
This is a huge play for the Timberwolves. We're tied at 14 all. 3:32 to play. 4th down and 4 yards to go from the 35. That box is stuffed. Clovis East has yet to throw a pass tonight, and that defensive alignment shows you that that's the result.
Good discipline by the defensive line right there. I've called that a little mini victory. Well, a couple things here. You get a 50-50 shot, run to the right side. If that's where you're getting your most success, you can pick up those extra yards. Or you can do what they did before, go in a run formation, do a little pooch kick, pin them back all the way back to their 5. No. It's a good. I'm actually interested to see what Coach Reynolds will do here. Because once again, their defense is going to be set up. They have no one deep anyways.
Right. 4th and 4 from the Sunnyside 35. 3 minutes and 19 seconds to play. And we're tied at 14.
And this is one of those times where sometimes I've done this, and I've asked my line, said, hey, you guys want to run it? And more times than not, they said yes. And then you get that belief factor in there, it's on their shoulders. More times than not, we were successful, though, so I was really happy about that.
Hamilton calling the signals. Knight in motion. Eccles
got him by the
on
jersey.
Reverse, and they had him by the jersey.
Oh, he
no
had a
gain.
shot.
Ball's turned over on downs to Sunnyside.
Where this, maybe that's a missed blocking assignment in the inside. Yep, number 8.
Eccles just could not break free.
That tight end couldn't seal him.
Sunnyside takes over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. Donovan Kong with the give. There's room to run. Picks up about 6 yards.
That's a good call.
On the sweep to the near side.
Just keep spreading them out. You have time.
Actually had enough for the first down, so the Wildcats now at the 46, their own 46-yard line. Officials hold up play while they
off a little bit.
While they get the yard marker and the chain set on the far sideline.
It's a new rule. They're going 10.5 yards.
Ball placed at the 47-yard line. Keeping the ball on the ground. Big gain down to the 45 across midfield. Timberwolves churning up the yardage, and the clock continues to run at 2:37.
See, nothing worse than being a player right now, knowing if they're going left, right, dink, and you're just one step behind. 88's got to be kind of careful to get those hands in those pads.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed that as well.
He got real lucky.
DeAndre Moorhead 4 wide receivers for Donovan Cohen. Carl Hawkins trying to burst through the line. Looks as though he has now pushed it past the first down line marker and has a big first down for the Wildcats, who keep this drive moving and the clock turning.
Great second effort by that young man. And his lineman. That doesn't happen without your lineman. They're maintaining their blocks, getting their big bodies in the way. Good. Oh, little late push.
1st and 10, Wildcats from the Clovis East 42-yard line. 1:46 to play. 14-14 our score.
That is a lot of room to run.
Into the near side, wrestled down by Reggie Williams.
And he stopped the clock. That play worked to Sunnyside's benefit in multiple ways. Now, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Run the same exact play, get 3 or 4 yards, run outside. That's all right, because they can stop the clock anyways and move the chains.
Sunnyside only with 1 timeout left, or correction, Clovis East only with 1 timeout left. Sunnyside has all 3 of theirs remaining. 2nd and 4 from the 35.
And there it is again.
Give again, another big gain and a first down.
Out.
Moving the chains.
They lost, 2 seconds, got the first down. Oh, yep, they got the first down.
Clock stops at 1:29.
Actually, I see a mismatch on the far side. I wonder if they're going to call something here. Oh, they'll keep it on the ground.
They're going to keep the ball on the ground.
Oh!
Nice seam on the far side. And another first down.
The running back took a page out of Knight's book.
Chains move again. Clock continues to tick down. Stops at 1:12 while the chains reset.
1:12, they're in a good spot.
Timeout taken, and this has got to be an anxious one for the folks on the Clovis East sideline, and a confidence boost for the coaching staff and players on the Sunnyside sideline as they're just marching right through this defense.
This is hard when you have a defense on the field, and I'm knowing this from firsthand experience, that has not had experience and doesn't know how to win. So like when you're in a tight game like this, it's like digging down deep. You can practice it and practice, but you can't replicate a game. So what do they have in store? Oh. He was hit by
Wildcats running the ball very effectively. They now come back out 1st and 10. Ball at the 17-yard line with 1:12 to go. Once again, give to the near side, and there's a seam, and there's a touchdown.
Excellent job by the Sunnyside offense here. Being able to utilize that speed. That 88 did a fantastic job by just getting his body in the way and throwing his hands up.
Terrific drive by the Sunnyside High Wildcats. And Clovis East has got to look back in frustration at that penalty that negated the pick six.
Oh gosh, that is a big dagger.
Extra point is good. Puts Sunnyside on top 21-14 with 1:05 to play.
So this is where those trick plays come into play.
Big challenge now for Clovis East. If they are to notch their first win of the season.
It doesn't hurt, to run your base plays most definitely and challenge you challenge the players. But, there are times you practice those trick plays at practice just because of breakup, the monotony, and because, you never know when you're going to need it. This may be one of those times, and it could be off the kickoff here. If they kick it deep and they've got something set up, special teams is a crucial part of this game right now.
Okay, anything can happen, guys. Anything can happen.
21-14 our score. Sunnyside High has just punched it in for the lead. Their first lead since the Timberwolves were able to come back and even this one up. A minute 5 to play. Line drive kick. Fielded by the deep back, looking for his blockers.
Good ball. And he's got, good field
Over
position.
the 30-yard line. Nice effort there by Justice Cantu.
Well, something for sure. This hasn't been a sleeper game by any means.
No, not at all. This has been
good game.
A fun ball game to watch. 57 seconds to go. Sunnyside 21, Clovis East 14, Timberwolves.
You know, it's probably not the most popular vote, but the thing is, hey, I think Clovis East has already won. Maybe not in the win column yet. We got some time, but there's a lot of things to hold your hat on right now.
Considering a year ago they lost every game by an average of 39.
What were we just talking
Romello
about plays?
Knight intercepted.
Ah.
Pass is picked off.
That might just sealed it. But they're going for it.
Well, you were wondering what trick play might come out of the playbook, and there it was. As the halfback pass floated a bit, and Sunnyside was able to pick it off.
Oh, is that Hawkins back there? So that was Irvin. You got to give props to
Irvin with the interception.
He stayed with his key, and he stayed with it. So I'll give him that.
There was a penalty at the end of that play, and that's marched off against the Wildcats. That'll place the ball at the Sunnyside 45-yard line. 44 seconds to go, so you take a knee 4 times, and that pretty much does it.
This is the time where it's playing classy football. Then again, Coach Wood maybe teaching his guys how to finish a game. The smart move is just go ahead and just take the knee. Just go ahead and take the knee and just call it out and, call it a night. It's been a fantastic contest between two very good ball clubs.
Clovis East will go to 0-4, but clearly this program is on the rebound. And the JVs won resoundingly tonight, 50-0 over Sunnyside, and that bodes well for the future of the Clovis East program. It is definitely coming back, even though they fall short tonight, 21-14. They will bemoan the pick 6 that was called back that appeared to give them a lead of 21-14 a little while back. And instead, the ensuing drive sees Sunnyside march all the way down, score, and they will go to 2-2. And they keep as well looking at their schedule, thinking if that Clovis North game in the opener had been a little bit different, they could be 3-1 right now.
Right.
Gordon Wood loves to play those tough non-conference games, get his team ready for the postseason, and that is your final tonight. As the host Sunnyside Wildcats with a tremendous late drive.
Phenomenal football game.
Able to score and pull out a victory over the Clovis East Timberwolves by a final of 21-14 here at Sunnyside Stadium.
You know what, Dan, which is nice is you're getting a glimpse, you're getting a taste of what's coming. And that's really good because of that like we said earlier, that road does not get any easier for Clovis East. Coach Wood has his sights on the NYL coming up. I think it's real good for his team to play a team like Clovis East. You can put your hat on that and to say, hey guys, you learned how to win tonight. That was good. Way to finish the game.
Great job by our crew in the truck and on the cameras and all around Sunnyside Stadium tonight. CMAC Sports Community Media Access Collaboration. CMAC offers training and opportunity. We're located in the Met Building downtown. We provide programming to Comcast and AT&T Uverse. Be sure to check out our website at cmac.tv, where you'll find information on classes, events, and the CMAC schedule. So, Coach Ray, is a terrific game tonight, as we expected. It's our final score, 21-14, is the Sunnyside with a dramatic final rally pulls it out.
Yeah, what we saw there, definitely from the Sunnyside team, those guys rallied big time because they could have really easily folded when they had adversity on them with 3-4 minutes left. They came back. They figured out the defense. They said, you know what, we're just going to take it to you. We're going to spread you out, and we're just going to be athletes. And good things came to them.
Clovis East will bemoan the rest of the season that pick six that appeared to give them a 21-14 lead late, only to have it called back because of a penalty.
Right. Yeah, and that was kind of painful. But you know what? A lot of things that they're doing tonight, they get to ride on that because they haven't had a lot of success in the past. So tonight was successful.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from tonight's game. An exciting game here at Sunnyside Stadium. As out on the field, Sunnyside celebrates their second win in a row that brings them to 2-2. And we saw some big plays in this one as the Wildcats got their ground game going. But also Donovan Kong via the air, very effective. Some of those short and intermediate routes turned into some big plays for the Wildcats on this night.
Yeah, really impressed with the receivers. Running backs ran hard. Linemen did their job, just enough to get in the way, just to open up some lanes.
Oh, and this was the big pass by Donovan Kong that went incomplete. And Romello Knight had a huge night. We don't have his statistics in front of us, but he was the workhorse. Scored twice in the second half, and the drive to their second score, he carried, I think, on all but maybe a couple of plays. He was outstanding.
Yeah, he needed one like that. I think he needed two breathers.
But Romello Knight had a big night for Clovis East tonight, and I think you look at him and you think that as they continue, there's big things in their future.
Oh, most definitely. I'm really looking forward to seeing them. I hope we get to do another game where we can see that game a little bit later and see the transition to them, seeing them making those adjustments and making those plays. But hats off to Sunnyside.
Well, Sunnyside looked good tonight. Good balance to the offense. Yeah, there were penalties that were certainly frustrating that won't make film study all that much fun next week. But the players, as you see the cheerleaders and the players gathered on the running track in front of the stands, singing the alma mater, and the Clovis East team down in the west end zone, hearing some of the words of their head coach, Ryan Reynolds. But our final score tonight here at Sunnyside Stadium, the host Sunnyside Wildcats with their second win of the season, scoring 21, and Clovis East impressively with a second half rally, getting a 2 touchdowns for our final score of 21-14. So for everyone at CMAC, thank you tonight for being with us for another exciting night of high school football. Join us again for more CMAC Sports. Good night, everybody.